Hi, Mark Romero here. Welcome to the Harmonize Your Life podcast, where we are dedicated to helping you accelerate your personal evolution and awaken to your power and who you really are. So, one of the things I've tried to always do in these last 3 months is really kind of leverage all that's been happening to my advantage, to our advantage. How can we leverage this time where we've had to be indoors, where we've had to go within? How can we utilize that to expand and awaken to another level of our divinity, another level of our magnificence, another level of our unlimited potential? And certainly with everything that's happened in the last week, we are being presented with another fantastic opportunity for healing, for growth, and for transformation. And I know that this experience has triggered a tremendous amount of emotional response from people, which is great. I mean, it is so good that we process all that's been held within ourselves in regards to racism, in regards to prejudice, in regards to these things that have touched all of our lives in one way or another. And so, yes, we need to find a way where we can process this emotional energy without being destructive. And that's what I really wanted to share today. I wanted to share a way where we can really leverage this situation, what has occurred, and really utilize it to let go of what's no longer serving us, but also open up the door for a tremendous amount of healing and transformation work, and ultimately realizing we're all one. It doesn't matter the color of your skin. It doesn't matter your age. It doesn't matter your sexual orientation. Any of that stuff is irrelevant because there is only a oneness in life. And this is what we all need to awaken to. And this is what we're in the process of awakening to. And where we're going and emerging into that, we can't take these divisions with us. We can't take these unresolved issues within our own selves with us to what we are unfolding into. Because what we are unfolding into is realizing the oneness of life, is realizing that we need to get rid of the divisions that have been put upon us that have kept us separated and kept us from really accessing our power and ability to transform this world that we live in. And so I really want to encourage everybody to utilize what's been happening, what's been showing up, what's shown up for you emotionally, and use this as a leverage to lift yourself to new heights and to lift humanity to new heights. The time is now, man. We are being called to a higher level. And the only solution to everything that is happening in the world is to deepen our own healing, our own transformational work, but also in awakening to who we really are. This beautiful, divine expression of life, of love. That's the truth of who we are. And we're all in the process of awakening to this and remembering our magnificence and our true essence. So I wanted to kind of share just a process, but just some mindsets to help you to process this emotional energy of what's happened in this last week and still what might be showing up as a result of COVID-19 and everything that's taking place on the planet right now. And that is number one, I really want to encourage you to feel your emotions. Feel the anger, feel the sadness, feel the frustration, feel the desperation, whatever might be arising for you, feel it. Process it through. Don't hold it in. Don't internalize it. Don't get on your phone and start sliding the thing and not deal with your emotions. Don't go eat a big bowl of ice cream. Don't turn on the news. Definitely don't turn on the news. Feel what you feel. The more that we feel, the more that we let go. The more that we process our emotional energy, we enlighten ourselves to soar to new heights. And I really want to encourage you to feel everything that's showing up. The reason why we've been seeing these acts of violence is because people have held this stuff in for way too long. And my mom always used to tell me, son, if you sweep enough, stuff underneath the carpet, eventually the carpet's going to burst. Well, if we actively process all of the emotional energy that's arising as a result of what's taking place in the world today, we can truly free ourselves and be able to process that energy in a way that isn't destructive to ourselves, that isn't destructive to others, and isn't destructive to the planet that we live in. And that's the space I think that we really need to hold on. Number 2 is we need to do some forgiveness work. We need to go and look at all of the times that we have been prejudiced against, where we have still holding on to some of these things. I remember as a kid, I grew up in white suburban America, man. There was maybe 3, Mexican, Indian kids, at the school, and I got prejudiced against. I was not only that, I was overweight, and I was horrible at sports. I got picked on, I got bullied. For me, what's arisen out of this is just another level of forgiveness work that I've had to do to forgive others for what has happened in my past. And I really want to open up the space for you to go and forgive the people that have perhaps maybe persecuted you for maybe being a certain way, having a certain skin color, having a certain political belief, having a certain type of religious orientation or sexual orientation. Forgive those people. They're just coming at it from a space of not knowingness. They've just forgotten their divinity. They've forgotten the oneness of life. Can you open up in a space to forgive those people? So that's the second step. Number 1, feel your emotions. Number 2, forgive these other people who have displayed prejudice against you. And number 3, this can be a tough one, is where can you forgive yourself for holding judgments against others because of their skin color, because of the way that they were? Where do you need to forgive yourself for displaying prejudice? Forgive yourself. We're all doing the best we can. Man, we love to beat ourselves and be tough on ourselves. We're all in the process of awakening, and a good part of that process is we're coming out of a space of not knowing. We're coming out of a space of separation, and that separation needs to end. I can date myself here, but I remember after the Vietnam War, there was a huge influx of Vietnamese kids coming to my high school, and man, the racial tension that arose. You had the Mexicans and the whites and the Vietnamese all battling each other. Why? Because we're different? Because we don't cook the same type of foods or speak the same language or look similar? Think of the times that you've held prejudice against somebody because of age or for whatever reason, and forgive yourself. So with that being said, I want to go into a process. So my very first musical mantra was on forgiveness. And I want to ask you a question. Are you willing to set the intention to forgive yourself, to forgive others, and to feel all that you feel as a result of what's showing up in the world today? It all begins with an intention. So just take some nice deep breaths and just kind of breathe through. And really connect into what it is that you're feeling. Just breathe it out and let it go. Let go of the anger. Let go of the sadness. Let go of the frustration. It's just energy. And you've been blessed with this ability to move it, to command it, and to let go. So take another deep breath. And just think of where you've been prejudiced against. And be open and willing to forgive. held on to these old wounds for way too long. And life is inviting us to let it go. So take another deep breath. Breathe it out and let it go. So once again, go within. And look at where you've been resentful against others for being different. Where you've had your own internal prejudice and perhaps maybe even expressed it. And just be willing to forgive yourself. Breathe it out and let it go. Take another deep breath. Take another deep, slow inhale. Just go ahead and take another deep breath. And I really want to encourage you to feel everything that shows up. Feel all that arises for you. Don't suppress it. Don't hold it in. Don't judge it. Just let it flow through. This is an opportunity to let go of lower density energy and continue this evolutional process. Now is the time to leverage this momentum and really open up to some tremendous levels of healing and transformation. Number 2, look at where you've been prejudiced against. Where are you still holding on to some stuff? Forgive those people. Forgive it. Let it go. Man, how long do we want to hang on to old hurts and old wounds? Now's the time to process that energy, move it through. As a result, you're going to dramatically change your state of being, and your state of being recreates your life. And ultimately, all of our states of being create the world we live in. Imagine what would open up if we all were to forgive ourselves and to forgive others. And that's the third step. Forgive yourself for having displayed prejudice at some point in your life. And you know what? We've all done it. Be open and willing to look at anything that's unresolved. This has brought attention to what it is that we all need to heal, what it is that we all need to process. And I say, hey, yes, it's an unfortunate series of circumstances, of events, but you know what? I'm going to find a way to leverage this. I'm going to find a way to open up to healing. I'm going to find a way to do transformation so that all that's taken place is not in vain. This is an invitation to awaken to who you really are. So, take some nice deep breaths. Come back in and listen to this piece and go through and breathe through whatever shows up and arises. What's on the other side of this is transformation. What's on the other side of this is higher levels of awakening. What's on the other side of this is a whole new possibility to emerge into a world that works and honors the oneness of life. And that it's okay to have different beliefs. It's okay to have different sexual orientations or religious orientations or political orientations or whatever. It's all right. Imagine what would open up as a possibility if we were all to unconditionally love and accept others and ourselves. That's the space that I want to emerge into. That's the world that I want to experience, not only for myself, but for my children. So thank you so much for having the courage to show up in this time. Thank you so much for having the courage to feel your emotions. And be who and what you really are. Shine your light. Heal your life. Transform your experience. Thank you so much for taking the time to tune in. I hope you have a happy and harmonious day. Take care.